Hello my friends and welcome to a new Animal Crossing video. My name is Michana and in today's video I'm going to tour one of my own islands. In this video I'm going to show you Bellnita, which I just fully finished, and Bellnita is a Spain-inspired island which also incorporates a lot of Citycore elements. And it's also inspired by Villajoyosa in Spain. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, but that's the location. As with all of my islands, this island also uses a lot of designs that are made by myself, such as McNico's, a McDonald's inspired restaurant, or Wispbucks, a Starbucks inspired build. So you're definitely going to see a lot of my own designs and fun little areas in general. So before we get started, here's a few things that are good to know about Bellnita. So as I said, Bellnita is inspired by Spain, but also based on the song La Isla Bonita by Madonna. So this island is called Bellnita, Bonita. I don't think that needs any more explanation. So yeah, that's how I came up with this name, and I also made this little sign that you can see at the entrance which says "Welcome to Bellnita, where the sun warms the sky," which is also a line taken from this song. All the villager houses are fully decorated, and this island also has 3 player houses which include myself, also a character which is supposed to represent Madonna from the La Isla Bonita short film, so she's wearing the exact red dress. And also Pedro Pascal, which is also a fun addition. So these are the 2 player characters besides myself, but all those 3 houses aren't decorated yet, so if you decide to visit my dream address, please don't be surprised if you enter those buildings and they are pretty much empty. So yeah, but other than these 3 houses, my island is fully finished, so I'm definitely going to update my dream address once again once I've also finished those buildings. But I still wanted to do an island tour already, so my channel feels complete. So we have an island tour of my other Greek island, Mykonos. Maybe I'm going to upload an updated version of this island tour as well very soon. And also a current progress tour of my new island, Red Ship, so you can have a look at all of my islands, even Red Ship, which isn't fully finished yet. So yeah, let's go ahead and discover this island. So let's kick off our island tour at the entrance, and also Bellnita has a consistent color scheme which is yellow and some hints of pink. There are also a few areas which use other colors as well, but yeah, mainly pink and yellow for this island. So this is the entrance, and since it's called Bellnita, I also made sure to add this little bell sign to this gate item. I always forget the item names, but you get the idea. So this is the little entrance, and you're being greeted by this sign which says Bellnita, where the sun warms the sky, with a little lighthouse and some matching balloons. So you immediately get the idea of which color scheme I'm using. So as I said, a lot of pink and yellow. So let's go and discover my island. So if you follow this road, you will get to Nook's Granny very quickly. So it's located next to residential services, which I thought would be pretty cool for my villagers. So like all the main buildings are next to the residential services, also Able Sisters. So here you have this building, also 2 of my villagers. I am absolutely in love with them. They are also having a little talk. It's so cute to see how your villagers get along very well, at least most of the time. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, I also use a lot of pink and yellow flowers which match my color scheme. Also the yellow and pink fencing. So yeah, let's go to the residential services area, because this is where I'm going to show you one of my favorite areas or like builds that I've done here. So you have the staircase which guides you to this lookout. And if you get yourself positioned right here, for example, you get a glimpse at 2 of my shop buildings. So this is my wispbucks cafe, which I'm also going to show you later on in full detail, and even a little crazy craze shop that I made. Now the crazy craze shop is not one of my favorite designs, if I'm being honest. Like, it was one of the first designs that I've created for this island, and it just feels rushed, so it isn't perfect in my eyes. But I still used it. Maybe I will add some changes, but I don't think so, because I actually plan on deleting this island once I finish Red Ship, my other island. So yeah, I'm not sure yet if I'm going to delete it, but that's like my plan. But anyways, I'm still going to show you those two shops later on. So I'm sorry, Plucky. But I still really like this Gracie build. It does have its own color scheme, which uses blue. But I still decided to add this to this island anyways, so it really adds a lot of color, which is like the concept for this island, since it's based on Spain, and some areas in Spain, such as Villajoyosa, which is the inspiration for this entire island, are very colorful as well. So yeah, I just noticed that Plucky is also wearing my design that I made for this island, so my flag design, which says bellnita. So that was my little lookout that I wanted to show you, because it's definitely one of my favorite areas, and I just love creating little lookouts, and then you get like a glimpse at sailing boats in the distance or a cityscape. So yeah, and as I said, Able Sisters is located next to the residential services as well. I thought these items were pretty fitting, especially with the red and hints of dark blue, because it really goes well with the facade of this Able Sisters building. Also, these green shopping baskets, I thought they go really well with this building as well. So that's that. And what I really like about bellnita is how I managed to do the street layout. So personally, I prefer this street layout over my Mykonos island, because although I do prefer Mykonos in other aspects, I think it's pretty weak in terms of street layout, like having a consistent layout that makes sense and feels realistic. I don't know why. I think I captured it better on bellnita. But Mykonos is my forever island, so I'm not going to delete it. But I do think bellnita is a bit stronger in terms of road designs. I still love both islands very much. So yeah, and this island also has a very unique build, which is something I'm actually really proud of, because it's something you don't get to see on other islands, so it was like my own idea. So I'm a huge Star Trek fan, and that's why I wanted to create a Star Trek themed build for this island as well, even if it isn't related to Spain. So I decided to create like a little Starfleet headquarters design. So this is like my Starfleet headquarters built on this island, and it's basically like a little space museum or space research center. So I didn't put much thought into this area, but I thought it's a fun addition, especially the Star Trek design. So it's definitely something you don't get to see on other islands. So let's go on. Also, while we're at it, let's have a look at my little neighborhood area, or like one of my two neighborhood areas on this island. We also have a villager house right here, as well as the two player houses owned by Madonna and Pedro Pascal, just like I mentioned previously. I did fully decorate the exterior, but as I said, the interior isn't finished yet. But I will definitely do that in the future and let you guys know on my socials, by the way. If you would like to follow me there, here are my socials. So I'm definitely going to update you once I update this island again. So it also has a neat little beach seating area right here. Also following the pink and yellow color scheme of this island. So I'm very happy with how this came out, and I can't wait to finish the buildings, like the interiors as well. So that's the point when this island will finally feel complete. And yeah, and this is also one of my favorite areas because it's so aesthetically pleasing in my view. So it's like a cute and cozy little neighborhood, and it also follows my pink and yellow color scheme for this island. And I'm just very happy with how this turned out, and also with the road design if you view it as seen from different angles. I'm very happy with this, so that's that. And I also love the addition of this extra long and fancy sofa right here. This is something you don't often get to see like as furniture that is being used for outside decoration. But I did think it was a cute little addition. I just love the appearance of this, like it's so long and just very fancy. So that's my neighborhood area. It actually continues if you go to the left. So we are back at the entrance, and this is where the neighborhood area continues. Pretty much the same scheme, so you have yellow, pink, and also some hints of white as well. So this is the cozy little neighborhood district. Just wanted to complete this real quick. So here we are. So we are back at Able Sisters in my Star Trek Starfleet headquarters. And that's also where my museum is located. Since we also have the roost in the museum building, I decided to add some seating moments right here, which have the little rooster design that I found in criteria search. If you want to use some of these codes that I used for this island, no matter if it's my own designs or other designs I found, I actually have a story highlight on my Instagram, Mijana Crossing, where I put all of my codes that I used for my island. So if you're looking for any design, you can have a look at these story highlights or just reach out and contact me. But yeah, anyway, so this is my museum area. I also added some hints of blue to match the roof of the museum. So that's that. I also added a rooftop balcony which belongs to the Roost Cafe. And originally I wanted to arrange this build in a way that you can see a lot of bits of my theme park build, which I'm going to show you later on. But sadly I didn't plan this properly, so you don't get a view at my Ferris wheel and all the other theme park themed items I placed, but instead you get to see a glimpse of the parking lot of this theme park. So I mean, it's better than nothing, so I guess that's also a pretty neat view. But it was intended differently. I'm still happy with this build, but it saddens me that this plan didn't work out. I just didn't plan the terraforming properly. But yeah, so you can see the parking lot, also very stunning. Such a stunning view. But I still like this little balcony, also with the water design that I added, because I thought it would add some interest other than the wood plank design. So that's that. I also added a lot of colorful, vibrant flowers, also pink and yellow again, but also some other colors, so it's a very colorful island. And I'm going to show you another colorful build in a few moments. So I actually built a little church next to my museum, which I called Bladder's Cathedral, also using a design that I found on Criteria Search, like with the bladders, window. I'm also very happy with this build and the color scheme using pink and yellow. And you can also get a pretty neat view if you go on this little lookout. I just need to use this staircase because the other staircase is only accessible if you're on top of this area, so you can't access it if you're coming from this road right here. It's a bit complicated, but whatever. So if you stand here, you can get a pretty cool view at this church build. So in my headcanon, this is Bladder's little cathedral, also a very historical building, which is why it's located to the museum. I thought that would make sense and would be a cool little addition. So yeah, and if you follow this staircase, you actually get to my campsite area, which was pretty spontaneous. I didn't intend this to be located on the beach, but I did run out of space at one point because I was so fixated on my other builds. So I decided to keep the campsite here and just worked with the space that was available. So I didn't put much thought into this other than that I wanted it to be a bit more natural than the other Citycore and Tropicore themed areas. So if you follow this little path right here, you also have a cozy campsite area, also once again with this little water design, and you can actually get seated here and just calm down, enjoy your stay on this island, or at the campsite to be precise. All these builds on my beaches in general were very spontaneous, to be honest. But I still like them actually. I didn't put much thought into them, but maybe sometimes that's even better than just thinking too much about what you're going to add on some spaces on your island. So let's continue with this tour and let me show you some other areas on my beach that are fully decorated as well. So you have like a little slide. This is so simple, like not overwhelming in terms of item usage. But I thought adding a little slide where you can just imagine that you're sliding into the ocean would be a fun idea. And you might have noticed that there's this little dodo design that is being used on the bistro garden table. And that's because we are near one of my favorite designs that I also use for my Mykonos island, which is my little hotel, which I called Dodo Hotels. So I also have a different take on this build on my Mykonos island, and this is the bellnita version. I am also pretty happy with how this turned out. It's a bit smaller than my Mykonos one, but also effectively used in my opinion. And also a little lighthouse right here. I think this is actually also one of my favorite builds on this island. It's pretty simple, but I still like the terraforming. So I'm just very happy with how this little area turned out. And you also get a pretty cool view at my beach, which is also decorated. So yeah, that's that. And talking about the beach, so this is also very simple, like I didn't put a lot of thought into this, but it's still very beachy. So I also added some fake buildings right here. Also a very spontaneous build, but I just wanted to extend the tropical and Citycore feeling a bit. And the colors also match, so I'm very happy with this area as well. And let's go on and see one of my favorite areas. I keep saying this, but it's literally one of my favorite areas. There's also a hidden wedding area right here. Now, I do wish I had more space available, so it would be more visible. But if you actually play with angles, you can still get a glimpse of this little wedding area, which is also attached to the church. So that's that. As I said, it's pretty hidden, but still a cute little space filler in my opinion. And now we are about to see my favorite theme park build that I've done so far. Other than my Nook studios that I just created on Redshift, I also have a video on how I built this one, by the way, if you're interested. So this is my Nookling Land theme park resort, also using a design made by myself. So this park is very inspired by the Disney parks in real life. So I tried to capture this atmosphere as realistically, but still Animal Crossing-ish. So you have a little parking lot for visitors. There's also a little playground, which is also partly hidden because of another build, but it's okay. You can still play with angles and then get like a full view at this. And you also have some lockers where you can store your belongings so they don't get lost if you're on a ride or something. So this build is also interactive, so it's not only a pretty huge entrance, so I'm actually very proud of this build. So because I came up with this entirely by myself, so I am happy I managed to do that. So you can actually enter it and also get a pretty beautiful view at the ocean. I also avoided adding too many items because I don't want this area to be cluttered. I want you to be able to move around freely, but it still was supposed to look like an stunning little theme park. It's not too crowded, but it doesn't feel empty neither. So you have some fun little carnival games right here. Also some skill cranes, so it definitely is supposed to feel like a little theme park. Also using some different colors in comparison to my other area, so you even have some hints of green and red, etc. So this is beautiful. So it's the next full hour. We are getting this gorgeous little fountain moment right here. So I'm very happy with this build. Also the custom design that I used here, I just think it blends in perfectly with the partition, with the plant partition. I'm not quite sure how this item was called, but anyways, this is where all my theme park rides are located, as well as a little restaurant right here. So I really try to use this space here effectively. So you also get some seating moments right here. The merry-go-round, also a necessity for a theme park build. And this is Red's Beach. I also added a slide right here, just like I did on my other beach that I showed you earlier. So this is just a little relaxation area where you can either wait for Red or just calm down after a visit at this theme park. So yeah, that was my Nookling Land theme park resort. As I said, I am very proud of this build and just very happy that I managed to come up with this by myself. It was definitely not easy, like I wanted to try hiding the cliffs, but I did not manage to fully hide them because it's simply not possible. I still wanted to add a staircase right here and make it accessible, but you still see a part of the cliff right here, at least on this side, because this part of the entrance is blocked. Well, you can still see a part of the cliff, but it's a bit more hidden right here, but I couldn't avoid that because, as I said, I wanted it to be interactive, but I still like this a lot. So there's also an area which I almost forgot, to be honest, which is located behind my Dodo hotel. So this is supposed to be like a little fountain using the bathtub item, which I like a lot. Like I just like using different items. It's just more versatile than if I just decided to use the two fountain items. So I created my own fountain by using this item. But yeah, I also have a little pool which I almost forgot to show you. So this is linked to my Dodo hotels build. I also didn't have much available space right here, so I still tried to add this little pool design because I had this design saved, and yeah, that's why I decided to put it here. So yeah, that was this area in its full glory. So let's continue and see the two shops that I've shown you when I was on the lookout. So this is my Wispbucks cafe, once again inspired by Starbucks. Also with some city skyscrapers in the background. So I think if I had to redo this island, I would do a lot of things differently. Like I would definitely try to add more cityscapes in the distance so it feels even more realistic and alive. But I'm still happy with how I did this back then. And I would also like to add that this is the area which is very inspired by villajoyosa, also in terms of layout and even the seating areas, and also the colorful illuminated cubes which I used here. They are also inspired by an area in villajoyosa where such colorful cubes are like used as decoration. So yeah, and this is my gracie shop. As I said, this is definitely, I think this is even my least favorite design. Maybe I will redo it one day because I improved so much in terms of design. So this is an old design, I don't like it that much, but I still couldn't bother to redo it for this island, so I just kept it like that. But I still like how this area was decorated. I also used the typical gracie pattern, like this blue design with the orange dots. So I still like this area in terms of color usage and decoration, but the design is a bit dated because I could actually come up with something better now and also improved a lot when it comes to pixel art. Even the wispbucks design isn't entirely perfect. Maybe I will improve it too one day. But I still like this one a lot and this area in general. So yeah, that was this area. So let's continue. Now this is an area which gives me mixed feelings. Like, I do like the color scheme right here. So we have the yellow iron fencing, also some hints of white which also fit with the tables I chose. And here's this little ice cream parlor which I reworked 1,000 times. The original plan was to create a separate design for this ice cream parlor, but I ran out of designs and also wasn't in the mood to create a standee design for this island because I was already working on my other island, so I kind of abandoned this island. But then I found this gorgeous ice cream standee design and decided to use it for this island. So this is one of the few designs that wasn't made by myself. So I do kind of like this ice cream parlor, but at the same time I don't. Maybe it's because I've seen it a lot of times and a lot of areas on this island just don't feel right anymore, which is also a reason I'm considering deleting it at one point and just starting over again. But I still love this island and how it turned out, but I am kind of critical with some areas now. But anyways, this is still a pretty cute little ice cream parlor that I came up with. I'm also proud of this little idea of using the birthday sign and this mini simple panel to create the illusion that it's like one item. It looks like it's a gigantic menu chalkboard. So I actually kind of like this area and at the same time I don't, but it's okay. So it also has a seating area right here which also belongs to the ice cream parlor. So it's also pretty hidden because of the fact that the buildings, like the Gracie building, take up a lot of space. You can still move around and see this area. So you see, even if you have an island which you actually like I really love Bellnita and how it turned out, but it doesn't mean I think it's perfect. Like, it does have some imperfections and areas where I'm like, okay, this could actually be better. But overall, I still love this island and I also love little imperfections. So yeah, and this is a little cityscape lookout. I actually wanted this to be a bit bigger, so I could have added sailing boats in the distance, so it looks like there's actually sailing boats floating on the water. But I kind of underestimated that my other builds take up a lot of space, so I couldn't do that, but I still tried my best to use the space effectively. Now, I do like how I added this lighthouse with the rock in front of it and the rock items in general, but I'm definitely not fully pleased with how the waterfall turned out. I actually wanted to fully cover this waterfall using this cave item, But at the same time I wanted to have like a huge cityscape lookout, so I couldn't do both because I was literally running out of space. So I decided to just add 2 rocks below and the cityscaping like on the 3rd level and the 2nd level as well. So that was my original plan, so this area also doesn't fully sit right with me, but at the same time I still like it. Like, at least I could add those 2 cave items on the 1st level, so I still like it overall. But yeah, that's that. So as I said, not every area is as perfect as I wanted it to be, but that's okay. This is a highway build which was highly inspired by Horrible Gaming, so she's also done an amazing build on how to do such a highway illusion, which is very inspiring. So this is my take on this build. I still remember when her build was uploaded, and like one day afterwards I decided to recreate this because I was so blown away. But instead of adding water designs, I wanted to try incorporating like my shopping district. So if you stand here, you get like a glimpse of my shopping district, like on the left and on the right. So I also like how this build turned out. Also using pink and yellow once again. So yeah, and this is basically where it takes you back to the entrance. Just wanted to show you this because I took another way to get to this, but there are several ways you can get to this highway. So let's continue, there's still a lot of areas to see. Also my second neighborhood district, which only has 3 houses, which are my own house and 2 villager houses. And this area is completely different in terms of colors, so it kind of escapes the yellow and pink color scheme and has like this blue color scheme going on with some hints of white and brown and light brown, to just match this natural atmosphere. So you have this little wheat field, the windmill, etc. So I'm also very happy with how this neighborhood turned out. You can definitely get some very cute photos if you play with the angles and positions. Like, this is absolutely cozy in my opinion. And I just wanted to add more versatility to this island, so it still has a bit of pink right here, but I just wanted to add a few more colors to this island, although yellow and pink are still the main colors. So you also have this little mini area where you can cook something or take a bath in the pool. I also added the wheat items to this beach, so it kind of extends this wheat field feeling. And there's also a little pool which I added on this rock because I genuinely didn't know what to do with this beach rock, so I just added another little pool, and I'm actually happy with how this turned out. So this is also perhaps an idea for you if you're looking for inspiration on how to decorate your beach rocks. So you can also change clothes right here or go to the toilet if necessary. So we are definitely going to see this area later on, but first of all let's go back to the staircase which leads to my highway build. So that's where we were, and that's where we are going to continue this tour. So now I'm going to show you another build which I incorporate on all of my islands, also made by myself. So this is my McNico's restaurant, and this one even uses the original color scheme, like of the original McDonald's in real life. So this is basically my take on an Animal Crossing version of this brand, owned by our favorite langur, Nico. So that's that. I also added a seating area right here, which is linked to the McNico's restaurant. So I'm very happy with this. It also kind of has a drive-in, although it might not be obvious, so that's why I added a little speaker item right here. And also the cash register right here, so it's kind of supposed to be a drive-in, although it's not as clear perhaps, but anyways. And this is my bank of nook build. I also like this one with the skyscrapers in the distance. I did forget to add one more bookshelf to the blue ones, but I don't think it's that important at all. Like, I still like how this looks like. So yeah, that's that. And here we have a taco bell. Now, this design wasn't made by myself, but April ACNH on Instagram, one of my favorite design creators and personal inspirations. So feel free to check her out. She actually has some of the prettiest designs that I know, including a subway design and so on. So that's where I got this taco bell design from. So this is the only design that wasn't made by myself. But I thought a taco bell would also be a cool addition to this island. So yeah, that's that. Also very happy with the skyscrapers in the distance and the dimension it gives to this area. It also has a seating area right here on the beach, so this is still linked to the Taco Bell restaurant. So yeah, let's continue. This is also a little space filler that I didn't give much thought to. It has this fountain and the carnival items, but it isn't too spectacular, but I thought it's a colorful and fun addition. Also a very tiny little lookout, so if you get yourself positioned here, you can actually see the McNico's build, the Bank of Nook, and even a glimpse of the Taco Bell, although it's hidden by a palm tree. Maybe I'm going to remove some of these or like prevent them from growing so you can also fully see the Taco Bell sign. So yeah, as I said, once I update bellnita one more time, I am definitely going to let you know. So yeah, and I also have a cinema on this island, which I'm going to show you. It's also quite unique, so I called this cinema off the wall, and it's using those standee designs in combination with simple panels and this white display shelf. This cinema was based on Michael Jackson's Off the Wall album. So this is also why the movie Michael Jackson's Moonwalker is playing here. So this build also uses the pink color scheme, also including some Star Wars and Michael posters. And you have a little ticket booth right here, and also an interactive outdoor cinema right here. So that's that. I'm also planning on creating a new cinema design for my current island. I even have a pretty cool name idea, which I'm not going to tell you yet, but I do have an idea which is based on a NPC character, which is also very liked by the ACNH community. So perhaps I'm going to do that. So yeah, and now here's a pretty randomly decorated beach. Now this is another area I keep repeating myself, but I also didn't put much thought into this neither. So there's a lot of things going on, but I still think it's pretty organized, although it's so random. Like, I can't stress this enough. This was really just like a spontaneous way to decorate this beach quickly so I can upload my dream address without feeling like it's incomplete. But I actually feel like I'm just going to keep it that way. You can still move around freely, you don't get stuck. You even have this little path design, so you can immediately tell which directions you can follow. So I kind of like this, even if it was super spontaneous. But yeah, and now we are back at this neighborhood district right here. It also has a community beach type of moment right here. So this one also perfectly uses the pink and yellow color scheme. So this is basically a little area where all the villagers that live here, or other villagers are invited to of course, can just hang out and relax. So we are almost at the end of this island tour, but there's still 2 villager houses that I forgot to show you. So there's the second little mini neighborhood which has 2 houses, and one of them is Savannah's house, so this is why I chose the black and white color scheme for this one, so it stands out from my other houses. But since Savannah is a zebra, I decided to do a black and white house for her, and also added this little zebra item right here. Once again, I forgot the name, I'm so sorry, but I mean, you can see for yourself. So I used this for her little villager yard, but I still added some pink, yellow and blue to this villager yard as well, so it still fits the color scheme of this island. Whilst this house is completely following the color scheme with the yellow facade and the pink flowers right here. So yeah, that's it actually. So that was my bellnita island. I hope you liked it, and I'm definitely going to update it again once I finish the last 2 player houses. But I hope you got a lot of inspiration from this. I think this island might be an inspiration if you're doing a Citycore or Tropicore island, or both to be exact. But also if you're doing a Kitcore island, which also uses such vibrant and colorful themes like on this island. So in any way, I hope you liked this island. If you would like to dream on this island, here's the dream address. If you would like to use the designs that I made for this island, here's my creator code. Some designs, such as the wispbucks, even have several colors to choose from. So wispbucks is available in orange, but also in purple, and I'm also going to upload a green version which is close to the original Starbucks very soon. So I hope you will have fun creating with them. If you would like to see more Animal Crossing videos like this, feel free to subscribe. I upload Animal Crossing videos mainly and passionately. I upload builds using my own designs, as well as island tours of other fantastic islands of the ACNH community. Sometimes also my own finished islands. So if you're into that, feel free to follow. It's so interesting to see what June just did in the distance. I also plan on uploading a few Hoko Life and Disney Dreamlight Valley related videos soon, but I still haven't made much progress in both games, but in any scenario, Animal Crossing will always be my main focus, so even once I have more progress in both games, I'm still mainly going to upload Animal Crossing. But if you also like Hoko Life and Disney Dreamlight Valley videos like from time to time, then this channel is perfect for you, and any support means the world to me. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are in this whole wide world. Please stay safe and take care of your beautiful selves, and see you in the next video.